So many of you know me. My name is Karl Krantz. I'm the organizer of this event. But today I'm not here as the organizer, or at least not for the next 10 minutes. I'm taking off my organizer hat. And I'm here to show you something that I've been working on to solve a problem that I've seen in these meetups and using and demonstrating VR to people for the past 5 or 6 months. This is my project. The company is called SVVR, ESC, like the escape key, and you'll see why in a moment. And VRLaunchPad is the first product. I actually hope to turn this into a platform and extend upon this, but this is the beginning. So it's designed to solve the biggest pain points that I've seen using the Rift. And take some of the friction out of the experience. And help people who are here demo their applications, and basically just make it a little bit easier for all of us. So the dream of VR is this nice, relaxing experience when we want it to be, where we can just seamlessly go into a virtual world and jump between worlds, jump between experiences with no problem at all. The reality is a little bit different, and I'm going to address the two most obvious pain points. So a common situation is that we grab the Rift, we start our application, we pick up our goggles, or we hit start and we put on the goggles, the high hopes of escaping reality. And this is what we see. This is my approximation of what happens when you see a configuration dialog, a 2D configuration dialog inside of the Rift. So one of these configuration screens, this is just the default setup of Unity if you're building a project. And so I've noticed that about 90% of the apps, 90 to 95% of the apps, as Peter said, most of the apps are done in Unity right now. So I focus mostly on taking the friction out of Unity, also because that's where the most friction is. So this gives you about a dozen resolution choices, only 2 of which will even work on the Rift, maybe 3 depending on, and quality settings, windowed mode, things that you don't need. I think all of us just set the quality as the highest for whatever our graphics card can support, and that's all we need. So dealing with this box, that's one of the problems. Another situation, this is Rift Coaster, the go-to demo. I think every meetup has had Rift Coaster running on at least one machine here, and this is the go-to demo that we all show off to other people. But how do you get off of Rift Coaster? Like, escaping Rift Coaster is not intuitive. I'm sorry? Alt F4. Okay, see, I did not know that. I try everything and give up, and I call tank. And then I resort to Control-Alt-Delete. So this is how I get off Rift Coaster. This is actually how I get out of a lot of applications right now. Because I can't be bothered to remember all the possible key combinations. So, VRLaunchPad is my solution to these 2 pain points initially. So it is an intelligent VR application launcher. And the way it works is it's a Windows application, Windows only right now, but I prefer to use a Mac, and eventually I'll get there. So it's an application, sits in your tray. It's got a configuration window, and in this configuration window, you drag and drop all your installed apps into that list. And in most cases, that's all you need to do. It will pull the image out of the icon. Most apps now have a pretty high resolution icon. And for most cases, that's all you need to do. And now you can launch. And now that gives you a nice 3D interface to all of your installed VR applications. You can select apps with the keyboard, with the Xbox 360 controller, and there's even an experimental head selection that we have going here. So if you don't have any of that, you can enable the head tracking and select items that way. And it allows you to launch your applications this way. You can also just directly from the tray, if you're in the desktop mode, you can select any of your applications in your list with just one click, or you can just start the Launchpad directly there. So it automatically handles these boxes, so you can say goodbye to messing with these boxes ever again, which was the first pain point. The second pain point was exiting, and it handles that. It gives you a universal exit key. By default, it's the escape key, but it can be remapped if your application needs the escape key for some reason. I haven't run into too many that do, but mostly I'm using simple tech demos that don't have a lot of saving data. So I figure eventually we'll run into that problem, so you can remap it. It actually gives you another way to exit, which on your Xbox controller is the not widely used guide button. So that doesn't interfere with most applications. So anywhere you are, you can just hit either of those keys. You're one click away from the VRLaunchPad. So you just go back home, one click, just like that. If you're already in here and you want to exit, just hit escape again and you get out. So basically all you have to do is remember one key from now on, and that brings you home or it gets you out. So I'm going to, let's pray to the demo gods. I'm going to run through an installation and, show you how it works, which should be fairly simple. Okay. All right, so I've got my installer. Tell everyone my password. Whoops, apparently I don't know my password. Okay. So, simple installer. Just run through it default here. And it's finished. So I had nothing installed on this machine. I uninstalled it right before the demo. And it opens up. So here's your list. So basically, I have a little shortcut to my Rift demos here. But basically, you can go in and find any executable. Take awesome here, drag and drop it into the list, extracts the image. So you can do that for any executable. To save time, I have made shortcuts of all my executables here. And I'm going to just drag and drop everything I have on this machine into the list. So now I've fully populated this list. And in most cases, you don't need to do anything else. So now I can just launch, and it worked. All right. So now I'm in the menu here. I can select items. Oops, I can find them here. So I can select with the keyboard, piece of cake, Epic Dragon, and there we go. So now I'm in Epic Dragon. I played for a while, I'm tired of it. I hit escape, one key, back at the menu. So I don't have the Xbox controller hooked up, but same thing with the Xbox controller. You can move it around. You can also, if I can aim right without actually looking, I can turn on this head selection menu, turn green, now it's on, and now I've selected another one. Okay. It's a projector issue. It's working here. I can show you. All right. Did not crash. Okay, and then one key, and I'm back at my menu here, but not here. Again, projector. So certain games and applications change video modes, which creates a little bit of friction because it will bring up that dialogue inside the Rift that your resolution has changed. Apparently, there's nothing that can be done about that on the hardware level. But hopefully in the next version, that friction will go away. So, when you're here, you can exit with just the escape key. I'm going to show you real quick. The quick list here, I can just select anything from the menu. One click, brings you in. And I'm going to exit, go back, brings you back to the menu in case you want to stay there. If not, just hit escape again. And you're back. And I'm going to bring up to show you the configuration real quick. So here's your list where you have all your apps. If you want, you can change the image. If something has a default image, you can just drag and drop an image into the list, and it will just replace whatever's there. So I actually had one set up. So time rifters, so that doesn't have a very good image, so I have put a better image for time rifters here. Just dragged and dropped replaced it. So now I'll get that image inside the menu. Nice and easy, drag and drop. Your global settings are set on a different tab here. You just set your resolution. You can go 1280 by 800 or 1920 by 1080. You can set your graphic setting. It'll use these for every Unity application with the dialog box at this point. And I'm looking into using these same settings in future versions for other applications, UDK, whatever, if you want to change those. You can also, here's where you remap your escape key and the Xbox guide key. And you can turn off some other things for debugging. If you run into an application that has problems, you can actually go and change any of those settings on an application level as well. So each application can have its own settings. You can disable various features that may or may not fix something that doesn't work. At this point, I have it working with everything I've tried that opens up in a full screen mode. So basically, there are no applications right now that I know of. So I'm hoping that you guys will help me find some applications that don't work so we can fix it, or add the features that we need to tweak it. And so that's it. Oh, I'm just going to go back and just show you that we used the new image for, where is it? Time records, there it is. So now we have the new image for time records. So that's it. Escape key brings you back. And the demo works. Okay, so hopefully this will bring us a little closer to the dream. And as of right now, the beta is available to download at VRLaunchPad.com. And so have at it, please try it, let me know, give me feedback, help me make this thing better, and I hope it's a useful tool for everyone. And I guess I could take a few questions if we have time, if anyone has questions. If not, I'll be demoing it somewhere over there, and you can try it, or you can just download it right now and try it on your machine.
Do you support extended desktop mode?
So right now it only works in clone mode, but it's very soon I will have the extended mode. I almost made it into this initial release, but there was some issues still. So, you have a question?
Does it have a link to the configuration? Or is that possible?
I'm sorry?
For the global settings, would it be possible to have like a link to the configuration utility? So that if you're ever setting up like a 50% you want to configure it?
You can disable the configuration on a per app basis, so if you need to do that, you can do that.
Yeah.
Oh, no, not at this point. No, but I'm definitely looking into that. Sorry, I misunderstood the question. Okay, more questions?
Do you support other types of controllers, or are you using X-Input?
Right now, just the Xbox controller. I am definitely going to get it working with the Razer Hydra and the stem. It's on my roadmap, and it'll be very soon. And what controller did you have in mind?
Kind of anything else.
Okay, yeah, just send me an email and tell me what you want, and yeah, I'm basically going to just handle things as people request them. Any other questions?
As far as mapping keys, is it only one key, or can I have multiple key combinations like both triggers?
Right now it's just one key, but I'm definitely looking into that. I'm also thinking to get around the problem with where an application might need the escape key of just doing a double click on the escape key. So yeah, right now it's just a single key, but I'm looking into that. Okay, great, thank you.
Excellent, excellent, very, very nice. Very much looking forward to playing around with that program. And also, as far as the Oculus utility, it's just like any other application. So obviously you can just drag in there and just like load it up, exit, load it up again. So that the way to get around that.